Canada. Maple syrup and like cabin say, ay, kick your ass all hockey season, ay, Mounties be riding horses, ay, yeah, this is Canada, ay, moose live up in our zone, ay.
Mark Carney and the Liberals have a censorship agenda. This Liberal government has repeatedly abused the power of the state to silence voices and perspectives that they don't like, trampling on the freedom of speech and freedom of expression of Canadians. As you probably know, the Liberals passed Bill C-11, which gives Liberal-appointed bureaucrats the power to limit what Canadians can view and listen to online. And then there's Bill C-63, which could subject Canadians to house arrest for hate speech, not for something they actually said, but for something someone thinks they might say sometime in the future. But here's a Liberal censorship law you may not have heard about. It's actually a pretty big deal, but it hasn't received the attention and scrutiny that some of these other bills have. And that's because the Liberals quite deliberately snuck this censorship law into an omnibus budget bill at the 11th hour, hoping that Canadians wouldn't notice. I'm talking about the gag law in Bill C-59 targeting Canada's energy sector. This gag law makes it all but impossible for Canadian energy companies to tell Canadians, to tell investors, and to tell the world about their significant progress towards environmental sustainability, including their successes in reducing emissions.
We work hard to do the right thing. It is patently unreasonable to expect a company to spend tens of millions of dollars, as we are doing, to go well beyond compliance into a place of discretionary, voluntary leadership and not be able to shout from the mountaintop the good things that we're doing. It's patently unreasonable to expect that of any company.
This law would invite every word, every syllable of an environmental benefit claim by a company to be challenged before the competition tribunal.
It sounds like this legislation makes it dangerous to speak up about your environmental work.
The challenge is in the way the legislation was drafted, it comes with this consequences that creates enormous and unfair legal risk, reputational damage risk for companies that are trying to do the right thing. And so what do? They stop doing the right thing.
And here is where it gets crazy. Truth is not a defense. It is not enough for a company to establish that its environmental representations are truthful. You heard that right. Under the Liberals' anti-energy gag law, the truth doesn't matter, facts don't matter. Instead, the onus is on companies to establish that their environmental benefit claims are based on an adequate and proper substantiation, whatever that means, in accordance with a so-called internationally recognized methodology that very conveniently isn't defined in the law.
Instead of getting that clarity, what they got was confusion. And in some cases, those standards weren't widely understood. There was no guidance accompanying those standards. And I think the business community had a lot of legitimate concerns about how to apply them in practice.
Companies that fail to substantiate their claims based on this undefined, internationally recognized methodology can face punitive fines of up to $15 million per representation. And to top it off, this Liberal anti-energy gag law opens the floodgates to radical environmental groups to bring forward frivolous actions against energy companies before the competition tribunal. Before this law, only the independent commissioner of competition could seek an order against a business under the applicable provisions of the Competition Act. But now, under the Liberals' anti-energy gag law, non-governmental and not-for-profit groups have a new private right of action. So it's obvious what is going on here. This is all about shutting down truthful and evidence-based information about Canada's energy sector that gets in the way of the Liberals' radical, anti-energy, keep-it-in-the-ground agenda. And any company that dares to step out of line risks being tied up in litigation, harassed by radical environmental groups, subsidized with taxpayer dollars by Mark Carney's Liberals, and forced to defend the truth against a vague and completely subjective standard, failing which they risk being hit with punitive multi-million-dollar fines. It's draconian, it's Orwellian, and it's exactly what the Liberals are all about, controlling Canadians through censorship to advance their radical agenda.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps with YouTube's algorithm and getting our videos out there. Have a blessed day.